Do you want to increase your chances of having a baby boy or a baby girl, and you don't want to spend the whole money on Clear Blue Ovulation Kit? You don't want to stress out. You don't want to spend a lot of money. You just want to make it simple, easy, and not still get the baby or the gender that you want. Today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to actually know when ovulation has occurred by not even spending money, literally with what you have, or by just getting the regular things that you can get off the shelf. Hi guys, my name is Precious. If you're meeting me for the first time, if you like my videos, you enjoy my video, I would like you to please press the subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell. And if you can also press the like button, which is a thumbs up button, you can just see there. It actually does help YouTube to recommend my video to other people. Thank you so much as well to all my returning subscribers. I do appreciate all of you. So a lot of people have watched my video on how to increase your chances of having a baby boy, and they live in a place where they can't buy the Clear Blue Ovulation Kit. And a lot of people have actually messaged me to say, oh, what other ways can we use, what other things can we use to actually try this process without using Clear Blue Ovulation Kit? Not because they can't actually afford it, it's because they don't have access to it where they are. Now I'm going to be sharing with you actually the best, cheapest, basically the cheapest way to actually try this method to get what you want. The two things you're going to need is obviously just your regular ovulation kit. You know, that one that you can afford, right? That one that you can just buy over the counter. You need to get that one, and you need to get, very important, your thermometer. I assume that everyone has a thermometer in the house. Now you're trying to measure two things at the same time. Therefore, you have to be very, very accurate and very, very disciplined. There's no beating around the bush, and this is the reason you have to listen to me, so you can get all the detail, the step-by-step method on how to achieve this using just your normal regular ovulation kit, and also using a thermometer, which you already should have at home. Now I assume that you know what ovulation is about. I assume that you know the science of ovulation. I also assume that you know your cycle. You just want to try this process because why not? Why can you not try it? It's not going to spoil or change anything. So now, for you to use this thermometer, you also need a book and a pen to be able to record your daily reading, because it's very, very important to record your daily reading. If you haven't watched the video I made on how to know that ovulation has occurred by just using a thermometer, you may want to watch that video, because I'm going to be linking it up on the card now. You can watch that video, then after watching that video you can come back to watch this video, because that would make you understand a lot more. Now you're going to be measuring two things. You're going to be measuring your wee, and you're also going to be measuring your temperature. These two ways, you can't get it wrong. You actually cannot get it wrong. Now, when do you start measuring? With the body temperature, you need to measure your temperature at rest. It's called basal body temperature. So what that means is that first thing in the morning, it has to be the same time every day. You take it to your thermometer as soon as you get out of bed. You don't need to go to the toilet. You don't need to wee. You don't need to do all of that. As soon as you get out of the bed, you take your thermometer. If you can even do it while you're lying on the bed, perfect. You get your thermometer and you measure yourself and you write it down before you now go to check for your wee. You use your wee to test with your ovulation kit strip that you have. So every day after your period, so let's say your period ends today, you start testing your temperature from tomorrow. A normal body temperature when ovulation has not occurred. A normal body temperature when ovulation has not occurred is between 36.1 to 36.4 Celsius. I'm going to put it on the screen what the Fahrenheit is, what it is in Fahrenheit, but it's between 36.1 to 36.4. This is where the range where your temperature is supposed to be on average when ovulation hasn't occurred. So when you start measuring, you'll find out that it's between this range, 36.1 again to 36.4. Now when ovulation occurs, what happens is that your temperature is going to now rise to up to 37 or even more. With that rise in temperature, you know that ovulation has occurred. So why do you need to check your wee? Now, there's nothing wrong trying two things at the same time if you can actually manage it, because what that gives you an idea is that it tells you that ovulation is about to occur. If you start testing your wee, I will always suggest that you start testing your wee from day 9, okay, depending on your cycle. If your cycle is shorter, then you have to obviously start a bit earlier. start testing your cycle. Let me just say from day 7, you start testing your wee. Every morning you test your wee. It's always advised actually that you test your wee around 10 o'clock in the morning. Use the strip, dip it into your wee and check the lines. Now the thing about this strip is that it doesn't really tell you that it's peak because it builds up. So you may not necessarily know when it's actually peak, but obviously you can tell that the 2 lines are thicker. So it gets faint, from fainting and just start getting thicker. It builds up and builds up until you can tell that this is full on, bang on red, 2 red lines. Okay. When you get that and at the same time measuring your temperature, there is a chance, in fact, it's supposed to be happening around the same time. You getting your peak, which means you have detected the LH surge. If you don't know, you need your estrogen and your luteinizing hormone to be able to achieve ovulation. So when you start getting the faint line, there's a chance that you haven't hit your peak. You're just getting the estrogen, which is the early signs or the beginning of ovulation. When you get your peak, that's the LH has been detected, meaning that ovulation is about to occur. There's a chance that your temperature may be rising either the next morning or the morning after. Okay, so this is why you're using both. You're using both just to give you an idea that this one has happened, the other one is going to be happening anytime soon. Okay, there is no way that you will get your body temperature rises and you don't get your peak. Your peak is meant to happen before your body temperature. So it's just like having 2 things as an indicator for you, having 2 things to manage something for you. Okay, you have a timer and you have your watch. It helps you to manage your what you're trying to do. So when you have that predicting test kit, ovulation predicting test kit, you start testing and you start, just don't throw it away. Keep it, keep piling it. Just be keeping it. If you test today, you keep it to one side. You keep it to you test the next day, you keep it. You test the next day, you keep it. You're just adding it up. With that, you'll be able to see the progression of your test that is leading up to the day of ovulation. When you get that peak whereby you see that the 2 lines are very, very thick, you have to be very sensitive to your body at this time. And that is when there's a chance that your temperature is going to be rising. Bear in mind that your thermometer or your rise, that sharp rise in temperature after a few days of similar range of temperature, indicates that ovulation has occurred. It's not ovulation is about to occur. No, that's what Clear Blue tells you. But your temperature is actually what tells you that ovulation has occurred. Now, when this happens, you see that rise in temperature, it is advised that you have sex between 6 to 12 hours if you're trying to conceive a boy. Between 6 to 12 hours. The reason is because you want the egg to be already there before you have sex, so that the Y sperm, which is very faster, or which is faster than the S sperm, will get to the egg before the S sperm gets to the egg. Because the first sperm that gets to the egg is the one that fertilizes the egg, and that's the sex or the gender that you're going to have. Don't forget, it's very, very important that timing is the most important thing. So you may want to ask me, oh, it has happened, why should I not have sex straight away? The reason you shouldn't have sex straight away is because you want to be 100% sure that the egg has moved from where it has been released to the place where it's supposed to be fertilized. You don't want it to still be in that journey of going to the uterus. You want it to be in the uterus before you have sex. And you don't want to have sex after 24 hours because the egg survives between 12 to even less than 24 hours. Very, very important. That is the reason I have always advised, or I would advise in this instance, you should have sex between the hours of 6 to 12 hours. At least you're giving it 6 hours. That's 6 hours. There's a chance that the egg is already in the uterus. And also bear in mind that because you've tested in the morning and that's that rise in temperature, there's a chance that ovulation has occurred 2-3 hours before. So you don't want to miss your timing. Have you gotten something out of this video? Yes, I know you have. Please press the subscribe button. Let me know in the comment section that you have gotten something out of this video. Please like. The way you like this video, the more you like, the more YouTube is going to recommend this video, because I know there are so many people who wants to try this method, but they can't afford Clear Blue Ovulation Kit. It is expensive, but they have thermometer in the house, and they also have the cheap one that you can just get for $1 or £1 over the counter prediction kits. You can use both of this and you can achieve your goal or what you want to do with the help of God, and of course in agreement with your husband. So I'm going to be reading 2 comments from people who commented on my video. The first person is Nina Kids Fun. She commented and she said, "Hi Precious, you are really precious in your speech." Oh wow, thank you so much for that. The second person is Sweet Cherries word. She's commented, she said, "Happy wedding anniversary." Thank you so much for that. So these are the 2 people that I've chosen today to read their comment. If you want me to read your comments, please put a comment on the comment section of this video and I would read your comments. Thank you so much for watching. Now, before you go, I would like you to see the other video that I made, which I talked about how to test that you ought to know that ovulation has occurred by just using a thermometer, and I think that video is going to help you. Watch it now.